Welcome to Inner Light. My name is Angela, and in this video today we're going to explore the process in which our inner giant comes alive and reveals itself to us, causing a profound inner transformation that could have a major impact on our worldly affairs. This video is an excerpt of the on-hour service at Unity on the Bay. And I'm going to write in the description below a link to their website so you can check them out. I hope you enjoy it. Let's begin. And so, as I have mentioned before, the topic of tonight's talk is when the self comes alive. And that's the self with capital S. And I'm referring to our soul self. And there is a part of us that existed before this physical body came to be and will continue to exist after this physical body passes away. That's the eternal aspect of ourselves. And there is a time in the life of this spiritual aspirant in which that part of him or her is revealed to him in its totality. And it would have been great if we could just snap our fingers and have the transformation take place in the blink of an eye. However, there is a process involved, and if we are familiar with the process, if we understand the process, we will be able to move through it a little bit faster and a little bit easier. And so before this process takes place, we have a very specific way of thinking and a very specific set of beliefs. But once that process is completed, we're going to have a completely different way of thinking and a completely different set of beliefs. To the world outside, we look like the same person, but inwardly, there is this dramatic change. And so this process is related to the renewal of our mind. Something takes place within ourselves that changes completely the way we see the world and the way we react to the world. One of the first things that begin to happen in this process is something known as purification. And purification often happens in times of crisis, when our whole world is crumbling around us. Therefore, every crisis brings with it a great opportunity. And so let me explain the importance of this purification phase of the process. The way we think and the way we feel create a specific vibration which will determine our auric field or our spiritual atmosphere. And so if we have the bad habit of constantly having thoughts of limitation, such as I'm not good enough, I don't have what it takes, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm not as intelligent as I wish I was. I don't have as much money in the bank. I don't have the green card. Or perhaps we are having thoughts that we are angry with someone, that we are resented, that we have hatred in our hearts. We don't realize that, but when we abide in thoughts like that, what it does is, it's very similar to putting a very thick, dark cover on top of a lamp. So even though there's this beautiful lamp, that cover will prevent the lamp, the light, from shining through. That's why this process of purification is very important, because as long as we have this dark cloud upon ourselves, our true self can never come alive, can never introduce itself to us. So that cleansing process is very important. And what we can do to facilitate that process is to bring the light of our awareness back unto ourselves, to begin to pay attention what is it that is going on in our inner universe. It is very much like bringing a lamp into a dark room and begin to recognize the things that are there and begin to consciously choose, do I want to continue to hold on to these thoughts, or is it time to relax, to release, and to let go of them? So for example, if you catch yourself having limiting thoughts, like you are a failure, like you are not good enough, whatever it is, begin to learn how to reject them, because in reality, they do not represent the truth of who you are. Remember this, we have been created in the image and likeness of God. So those limiting thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, they are not truth. They do not represent the truth of who we are. And at one point in our spiritual evolution, we need to begin to look at them and begin to reject. Also, if you notice within yourself that you are angry with somebody or that you are resented with somebody, begin to work on clearing out the negative feeling and the negative vibration. For myself, I love to do Ho'oponopono, which is a great way to heal myself from any feeling of resentment that I may have with somebody else. But you can do whatever it is that works for you. The important thing is to recognize that those such a thoughts are holding you back and be willing to allow them to be cleansed from your consciousness and your subconsciousness as well. One of the important lessons that I learned from the book The Way of Mastery, which teaches us a pathway into attaining mastery of our lives, is that we have been created to be an extension of love. And when we allow ourselves to be an extension of love, we are actually being an extension of God. So the more love we express, the more compassion, the more benevolence, the more the desire we have to help other people, the faster will be this cleansing process in which we will be raising our vibration to a new level. Another important healing that needs to take place in this process is the healing of a feeling of being separate from God. And I know that when we enter the spiritual path, we are introduced to the idea that God is present within us. And we love that idea. However, at a subconscious level, we still believe that we are separate from God. And we can see that by the way that we react to the circumstances of life. If something bad happens, if our world falls apart and we begin to react in fear, we're not supposed to judge ourselves because that's normal. However, that's an indication that we are still operating from the standpoint that we are separate from God. We were created believing that we are separate from our good, that we are separate from the love that we seek, that we are separate from peace, that we are separate from security, that all those things are to be found outside of ourselves. However, it's very important that we begin to bring those things to the surface so we can heal them by reminding ourselves again and again and again that God is not only within ourselves, but closer than our own breathing. Meaning that the good that I seek outside of myself is within myself. The love that I seek outside of myself is within myself. The peace, the joy, the fulfillment, everything that we have spent all our lives looking for outside of ourselves, it's already fully present within ourselves. And as we continue with this healing and cleansing process, eventually we're going to be led to the door that separates the seeker to the one that has found. And the way that we cross that door from the seeker to the one that has found is by beginning to act as if we have already found in spite of the appearances. That's why in scripture we hear, when you pray believing that you have received it, then it will be yours. That's why once again in the book The Way of Mastery, he encourages us to spend 5 minutes every day embodying the sense that we are already awakened, that we are already a master, that that part of us which is eternal have already come alive and it's living our life for us. And how we can do that? We can do that by using the power of our imagination. How would I react if I knew beyond any measure of a doubt that God is with me? How would I react if I knew that greater is that which is in me than that which is in the world? You will feel confidence, you will feel empowered, you will feel filled of love and joy and peace. You would feel fulfilled. So use the power of your imagination to see yourself already experiencing that, and it will be yours.
We're all blessing to the
I hope you had enjoyed the message, and if you know someone that can benefit from it, please feel free to share it with them. If you like it, just click the like button below and subscribe to the channel. Having said that, I really appreciate you watching this. A big hug to you, and from my heart to your heart, I see you in love and light. Thank you. Namaste.